I want to invite our colleague Fook Chuang, who's joining us from Jakarta, to say a little bit more about the urban floods community of practice. Fook Chuang is a senior water and sanitation specialist with the World Bank. He's been working in the Jakarta office for the past 3.5 years, focusing on flood mitigation issues. Previously, he worked for 13 years in the South Asia and Africa regions, preparing and managing water, sanitation, drainage projects in Bangladesh, India, various parts of Africa. So, Fook Chuang, we have your PPT, which we'll show here from Tokyo. So, over to you, Fook Chuang.
Thank you, Phil. Good afternoon and good morning to everyone. I'd like to start with a little bit of a quiz, which for reasons of time I'll answer myself. Next slide, please. Guess where we are? From 12 o'clock, going clockwise, the Mercedes is in Ho Chi Minh. The pickup truck at 4 o'clock, that's in Manila. And the Rolls-Royce at 8 o'clock, that's in Jakarta, the 2013 January flood that Mr. Sugagochi mentioned earlier. Second slide. These are slums. Again, I've mixed them up a little bit. 12 o'clock, that's Manila. 4 o'clock, Jakarta, and 8 o'clock, that's Ho Chi Minh. Final slide, and this is the easy one because you can recognize the geographical outline. 12 o'clock, Manila, 4 o'clock, Jakarta, and 8 o'clock, that's Ho Chi Minh City. Those are land subsidence maps showing the rates of land subsidence in and around these three cities. Superficially, it looks like cities in the region face similar issues. That's really because we see similar issues surrounding flood management and flood mitigation. As Abbas mentioned much earlier at the start of this event, we have issues of catchment management, of spatial planning, land subsidence. These cities are near or at the seaside, vulnerable to climate change issues. There's a lot of solid waste management issues, drainage management issues with clogged drains and so on. So unplanned urbanization, as Abbas mentioned earlier. But of course, same issues in varying context. Physical geography different, the political systems are different in different countries, and so are the administrative regimes and institutional settings. So what have the cities been doing? There are many structural activities going on. Many cities have embarked on cleaning and dredging activities. The structural measures to increase flow rates, to increase storage capacity that Mr. Tachi mentioned in his presentation on the Japanese experience earlier. There are lots of canals and diversions programs. Go to Kuala Lumpur, you have the Smart Tunnel. In Jakarta, a couple of years ago, 2011, the government completed the Eastern Flood Canals. And now in Bangkok, they're talking about the super canals to divert the flow of the river around the city. We have coastal protection activities going on. Dikes are going up, seawalls are getting higher. In Ho Chi Minh, the authorities are worrying about tides and how the gates would hold up to them. And you might have heard that in Jakarta, the hot topic today is the plans to create the giant seawalls, basically to protect the city. Less heard about, perhaps more challenging, are the spatial plan issues, managing spatial plans, managing people who are living and in and moving into vulnerable areas, managing the river basin at managing the river at the basin level in an integrated way, and basically people living within the environment, adapting to the environment. Those are more challenging issues that we hear less about. Now, there are some of us who have worked in many cities, different cities around the region, and therefore have some cross knowledge experience, some experience in cross knowledge adaptation. There are South-South exchanges going on. There are North-South exchanges going on. Both Jakarta and Ho Chi Minh have partnerships with the Dutch city of Rotterdam. There are various forums that all of us go to from time to time, international forums, regional forums. Now, the role of the community of practice is to expand and create an additional space for the sharing of information, for bringing together the experts and practitioners so that we can share operational and technical knowledge, experience, solutions that we have come across in different cities. And we use the latest technology platforms to try to do that. And the idea is to not only share information, but also focus to advance the integrated approach. The more challenging issue or the more challenging areas that I mentioned earlier. How do we take an integrated approach, river basin level approach, and how do we mainstream disaster risk management into planning, into policies, into programs? So the platform is an open platform, collaboration for development platform. It's people can join, interested parties can join, and use that platform to share and to discuss. On the face of it, it's just a platform. And to some extent, it requires interested members to come in. And the more that there are more interested members, more discussions, more lively and more active that platform becomes, and therefore more useful, productive it becomes. I'll just show two other slides of what it looks like if you join and you log on. So the next, there's a space for e-discussions on the platform, space for webinars, blogs, Q&A forums. It is also a repository of knowledge. And the final slide. I checked this over the weekend, and what we have today over the weekend is that we have two e-discussions that's ongoing. One on Nairobi and topic around Ho Chi Minh City. There are two blogs that are also ongoing, Dhaka and on Indonesia. And there's something like just over 60 reports and publications which have already been loaded and available to everyone, to all members, through the platform. So there are two final things that I would like to say. One is that, as I said earlier, the more members we have and more lively discussion we have, the more useful it will be for everyone. And that's one of the objectives of having this launch, to get the information out and also to get the feedback. But the second thing that I would like to put on the table is that this is not just a chat room. It's a platform with a backbone behind it. It has an anchor at the Disaster Risk Management, the DRM hub, joint Japanese government World Bank program, which can provide and has the ability to provide technical expertise and capacity, to connect us with, particularly with Japanese experience and expertise. As Mr. Tachi mentioned earlier, there are a lot of experience, particularly experience from the past, where Japan, many Japanese cities went through at least some of the issues that we face in many of the cities in the region that we work in today. And indeed, I hope that this will sort of like move smoothly to our next presentation, which is the role and responsibility of the DRM hub in Tokyo.
Thank you, Fook Chuang, and I'll say a little bit more about the community of practice before we move to our closing.